Hey guys, it's your girl Shala, Promostk, eating good in the neighborhood. Y'all, we got some good old ghetto dirty spinach rice, and we're going to be talking about the wardens, walkabouts, and inmate grievances. Oh yeah. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Shala, Promostk, eating good in the neighborhood. I prepared this meal, you guys, on Promostk Shella's Creations way. So y'all go to that channel, check it out, show us some love. Simple. Y'all go to that channel and find out how I made this. This is my ghetto dirty Spanish rice, y'all. My ghetto dirty Spanish rice. Make it do what it do. All right, I'm gonna bless this food and we're gonna get it in. Dear Lord, thank you for this food. Thank you for it being on my table. Thank you for being a provider. In Christ Jesus' name, I do pray. Amen. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, y'all, I have my bib on. Not my bib. I have my apron on. That was my gift from Lady T. Yes. So, because I came straight from my cooking channel to my eating channel, so we gonna get this in. And now I'm gonna put my bib on. My Promostk, eating good in the neighborhood bib. Because you know I gotta rip my bib, so I figure I'll keep them both on since I did doing both channels today. And the topic today, you guys, it's about our walkabouts in the prison system with the warden. So our topic today is pretty much about keeping down the grievances from the inmates. Whew. So I done bless my food, y'all. I'm gonna start eating. Y'all don't see my food. I showed y'all my plate. I took a little Mexican, did a little twist on the Mexican, turned it into Spanish. And it got some kick to it too. It's good. I'll give you a spoonful. All right, here you go. Look at that. Oh, it is so good. Okay. Woo! It's got some kick to it. So y'all can, depending on the picante y'all use, it could be mild, it could be, you know, hot, or it could be regular. Some good old Spanish dirty rice, the ghetto way. Eat a little bit before I talk to y'all. Cause your girl is hungry. If y'all had something tortilla chip, y'all can eat some tortilla chips with it. You can even stuff this baby in a flour tortilla. You can add some corn to it if you want to. Corn just don't like me, y'all. Y'all go check out my channel. My cooking channel. I only put 3 ingredients. Combined 3 ingredients. To make this. My infamous leftover rice. My taco meat. And my picante. My picante sauce. You can even throw cheese on top of here. So, I think I talked to you guys a little bit about, maybe real briefly, I don't even remember. Because both private prisons that I work for did things a little different. One catered more to the inmates. The other one not so much. But one of the private prisons had to where all the department heads every day would go to the fence while the inmates were on break in the yard. That would be the inmates' time to come to all the department heads. That way, it kind of cuts down on the grievances that the inmates would send to the departments, because the warden didn't like grievances. He wanted to have everything settled. If they can settle it, it's like a fight. If we can sit down and have an arbitration there in the middle and settle things, let's get it settled. No need to fight. So we were going to line up at the fence that was separate us from the inmates, because they were in the rec yard. So the rec yard was all fenced in, all closed in. So the inmates would come up to them. Some would have papers in their hand, because they say, well, why were my grievances disapproved, or why did I get my paper back? In my case, they'd be coming to me, why I'm not getting my mail, or I'm indigent, why I'm not getting my stamps on my indigent packages. But the whole premise of meeting there was so the inmates can come at their leisure to ask us questions. Some inmates, that's spicy. That's my water. some inmates was like, I'm not messing with my rec time to go sit and talk to y'all. I'm gonna write my grievance anyway. I want it on paper. You know, some inmates are just like that. They want it on paper. And no matter that you're down there to try and delete the paperwork, they still want it on paper. And they'll get to the warden. I'm like, my line was never hardly long because inmates weren't having problems getting their mail. We made sure the inmates get their mail. No. They come up to me asking me crazy stuff like, why I didn't get my magazine? Why y'all denied me my magazine? And I'm like, per FDLC, it's in the review. If it gets approved, you'll get it. And if it gets denied, you're not. But I'm telling you, the warden at CCA was really all about the inmates. They really believed in being friendly with the inmates. And we would have inmates just run to the warden. They see the warden out there. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. They see the inmate out there. We have some nice, genuinely nice inmates because they come up saying, hey warden, how you doing, warden? How you doing, Miss Salter? How you doing, mailroom supervisor? How you doing? And they would genuinely just be nice because they had no reason to be any other. The warden at CCA really made the inmates feel like they had purpose. He instituted a lot of things, like they had the dog program, where certain inmates were allowed to get dogs and train the dogs. And the dogs would actually stay with them while they're training. It would be like an exit reentry program. And that's one thing that CCA did that was good because it gave the inmates companion with the animals, with the dogs. And they were all German Shepherd. And they were puppies. And the inmates would have them until they're ready to go on over for more training with their healing. But it was sad because when CCA lost a contract back to Geo, Geo didn't do the dog program. They didn't have that. There was a lot of programs that CCA had that geared toward the inmates' reentry into society. If I had to take and rate it 2, because you know you're gonna have your pros and cons, but CCA was more humane toward the inmates. The warden wanted the inmates to have that level of respect. And some of the officers didn't like it because it made them feel like the warden was taking the inmate's side over theirs. But again, the inmates are a dollar sign, you know. You know, the private prisons, they get paid per head, per bed. They didn't want empty beds. And they wanted to keep the inmates happy. A lot of times, grievances that you're like, why was that approved? Well, a lot of times the warden would have approved certain things depending on how the inmate's behavior has been while at the prison. So it makes a difference if you're an inmate and you have a good record with the officers, with the wardens, with the assistant wardens. It makes a difference with the captains. It makes a difference because if you go in there and you're a troublemaker, don't expect to get any favors if you're coming in there and you're a troublemaker. Because the warden's going to look at your history. Excuse me. Excuse me. And the warden with CCA was very fair. The warden with Geo, I don't know, they were just two separate entities. The warden with Geo, he was more, I don't know, he'd be like one way in front of the inmate's face and then cold-hearted on the other side. You know what I mean? Whereas the warden with CCA, if he told an inmate he was going to do something, he going to pull rocks and bricks to make sure that he do what he say he going to do. Or justify why he can't. I know a lot of, like I tell you guys, if you guys got inmates locked up and y'all know something's wrong, something's going on, contact the warden. Contact the warden. Contact the warden. Ask the inmates, you know, who your officers in the dorms, you know, so that when the family calls, they know exactly how to pinpoint certain things that they can correct. But yeah, we used to do walkabouts, and on those walkabouts, we used to do perimeter check. I know I've talked about that before. We did perimeter checks. We walked through the dorms, did inspections. We did inspections that were spontaneous inspections that they weren't aware of, because you always want to catch them off guard, right? Make sure the officers were doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I'm telling you, a lot of times we come in there and we see these officers not on task. They be on the phone sometimes with their feet propped up, not paying attention to the inmates. Sometimes the inmates will be in the rooms with them and they be talking and just laughing and talking about all this kind of personal stuff, guy stuff. You know, sometimes sometimes the officers would get a little too comfortable, a little too friendly with the inmates. And when it gets to the point where they get a little too friendly with the inmates, the inmate that wants them to be a little too friendly sometimes can catch them off guard. You never know, because you never know if that inmate has honest intentions. They may be saying, you know what, I can get this officer, I can knock him out, and we can escape. You never know. So that's why, as an officer, you gotta be on your P's and Q's at all times. You know, don't be surrounded by a whole lot of inmates at one time. Make sure they keep their distance. You know, you don't want them inmates all up in you, all around you, encircling you. They may decide they want to jump you. Then what? Are you gonna have time to pull that radio? We had with CCA, we had to walk around with body alarms. And with Geo, we didn't have those body alarms, but with CCA, we did, because we would have to go out there with the inmates And sometimes it was just us, and we're not officers. You know, I was a supervisor in the mailroom. I wasn't an officer, had a uniform, had my canister, a mace, or my baton, nothing. You know, so we would have to have our body alarms on. And if something was to happen or go down, we had to press that button on our body alarm, and that alerts the security where we were. It would pinpoint exactly where you are. While you having that that alarm on you, they knew exactly where you are. You pull that thing, they knew exactly where they coming to rescue you. So if you went to the compound and you didn't have that thing on, you were in trouble. Because that's the safety precaution. I don't know why Geo didn't have that. But maybe because of the way CCA handled inmates. You know, we were more confrontational, more in their face. Not in a bad way, but more in their face, because the warden wanted us to make sure the inmates was happy. Okay. And I think I discussed this on another video. Whereas FDOC says we are not allowed to receive any gifts from inmates. But CCA officers would take stuff that they would make. I mean, we had some, man, like I said, these inmates had all the time in the world, and they were very creative, very, very crafty. They would make all kinds. They would take a bar of soap and make ornament type things out of it. They would take a bar of soap and make the faces of these officers, or the captain, or the warden. And the wardens and the captains, they would keep this stuff. They would even have this stuff displayed in their office. And I'm like, how in the world can they do that? When Geo was there and FDOC hadn't changed. It's like the Bible, it ain't changed. And FDOC didn't allow you to do that, but CCA comes in there and they do it. So I still don't know to this day. All I know is that when they got ready to negotiate their next set of 3 years, CCA was out the door in Florida. Not one single correctional facility was run by CCA. Now, I don't know about now, because you know it's been some years. I don't know about now. But all I can know is when they did them bids, and we know CCA probably was the lowest bid, but when they did them bids, it was a shock. I mean, it was like a ripple of a shock, like, oh my God, CCA did not get the contract. But not that they didn't get the contract, but every facility that they took the contracts from the 3 years before, they didn't get any of them. Not one. Oh, so I'm like, oh my God. That was crazy. And at that point, I'm like, I wasn't staying another 3 years. I mean, I had already been there 3 years with Geo, 3 years with CCA. Geo was coming back in to take over. I'm like, that was my opportunity to get out. Because God blesses us. You know, he has doors that opens for a reason. And he has doors that close for a reason. And when he opens those doors for you, another avenue, take it. Take it. Whatever the opportunity is, take it. Because God makes no mistakes. He makes no mistakes. Listen, you know in your heart. You know in your heart. You know it's right. But the grievances with Geo was through the roof. CCA, the grievances was down. They were down. The officers was a lot more pleasant with the inmates with CCA versus Geo. I think because Geo was more stricter, whereas CCA was a lot more linear, even when it got to the inmates that worked in certain areas. The assistant warden, Dothan, he would make sure those inmates that helped with the cleanup or whatever, he would make sure they had something to go back to their rooms with. Are you supposed to do that? No, but he did. Because like I said, they treated the inmates more humane. And even though the inmates was it's crazy. The inmates was fed the worms in the cans, in the beans and stuff by Geo, the supplier that Geo had. With CCA, I don't know if they had a different contract with somebody else or not, because I wasn't in the food section part, but it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that with CCA, but it was like that with Geo. So you go figure. I don't know. All I know is that I stopped eating the food with Geo. But anytime the inmates have grievances and we don't satisfy their grievance, that grievance gets escalated. It gets escalated to FDOC. It's out of our hands at that point. They want to get an appeal on our decision if they're not satisfied with our decision. And then the final decision will come from FDOC. You know, whatever the outcome, whether FDOC backs us or FDOC decides to side with the inmate, it then falls on FDOC's hands. But that's about the gist of it. You know, like I said, we had to go to the fences, and that was with Geo. With the warden, we actually went into the dorms, and the inmates came up to us with. We were more one-on-one with the inmates with CCA than we were with Geo, if that makes any sense. But I'm done with food, y'all. So we'll catch up on another video. But this video was pretty much about the grievances. we had a certain, everything with FDOC, there was a certain time frame for everything. So you had like so many days to answer the grievance, like 3 days. And if it goes back to the inmate, they're not satisfied, then they have 30 days to forward it over to FDOC to appeal the decision if it was not in their favor, obviously. But anytime you get an inmate that say they're trying to grieve an issue, call the warden. You can escalate it, you know, with the warden. You can escalate, you know, say, hey, my nephew, my brother, my niece, my sister, whoever is locked up, got a grievance and it's been an appeal. What's going on with the appeal? A lot of times they can refer you over to FDOC or themselves. But it's just so many avenues in the prison systems. It's a lot. So if y'all have questions, maybe something I'm not addressing, or you're wondering about something, drop me a comment. Hit me up a comment, you know, and then I can, you know, because a lot of things, you know, when I get here and start talking, I say I'm gonna start on one topic, and then as I start talking, my mind starts drifting to something else, and then I may get off topic, and it may not be where you guys want me to go with that question. But hey, ask me some questions. That way I know where y'all want to go. But I can say the warden is very important in the prison systems. Very important. And if you have to go to the warden to get your problem solved with these inmates, go to the warden. They don't like being overlooked, you know. So if you see where you need to address the warden, go to the warden, because the warden knows if you go to him, the warden's gonna be like, okay, so now I know I gotta get this settled. Like I know I gotta answer this, because now he gotta put it down to one of his captains or one of his assistant wardens and say, hey, I need to know what's going on with this right here. Because now his eyes are on it, and if something was to come back and say, hey, no, I addressed it with the warden and he was supposed to do blah, 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 blah. Make sure y'all are keeping notes, time conversations, dates. Whenever y'all had a conversation, whenever you're writing, correspondence-wise, keep dates, names, whoever you're talking to. Make sure you have that information when you're talking to these people in these administrations. Okay? All right, so Promostk. Promostk. Eating good in the neighborhood. Eating good in the neighborhood. Eating good in the neighborhood, my prison history, my stories, my whatever y'all want to know, hit me up in the comment section below. All right, love you. Woo-hoo. And don't forget, go to my cooking channel, see how I made this ghetto dirty Spanish rice. Oh yeah. Bye y'all, love y'all. Oh, and if y'all want to sponsor a meal, hit me up on my Cash App, $PROMOSTK.